Hey everyone, I'm Bryant. Ever feel like life's throwing it all at you? Hey, I've been there. I played tennis at the highest levels, was a top player at Vanderbilt in college, and have played at the professional level. But life hit me harder than any match. Losing my mom and becoming a single dad in the same year was a battle I never saw coming. This channel is about more than just racket sports. It's about lessons from the court, tips to up your game, and faith-filled encouragement when life feels like we are down match point. Are you ready? Grab your paddle and let's go.
This shot right here, it's called the reset. When the point gets crazy, things get chaotic, we reset, we take a step back to slow down the game, to recenter, to refocus. Same thing in life, outside the lines. When life gets chaotic, take a step back, take a deep breath, look up, and let God do his thing. So what's a time when faith and resilience, how to get you through a tough time in life? Well, I've shared it before, and I'm gonna share it again. Going back about 5 years, when I lost my mom and became a single dad in the same year, super close with my mom, and seeing her full of life, doing all the right things, and then suddenly get diagnosed with a rare form of cancer that was already late stage. That rocked my world, my whole family's world. And seeing such a quick decline of strength before our eyes was gut-wrenching, and gave me so many questions of like, why? Why is this happening? Why is there evil? You can do all the right things and still bad things happen. It just left me with like so many questions. And then becoming a single dad, it literally felt like the two of the most important pillars of my life just collapsed. And I was free falling with no end in sight. Would literally just ask God, like, is this storm ever going to end? Period. But here's the thing. In our heart of hearts, I knew it, and I think we all know it. Storms don't last forever. There is a quote, and I forget who it was by, but that I read, and it gave me a sense of hope, a sense of peace, and it changed everything for me. And it went something like this, and I had it during that season of life. I had it on my refrigerator. It said something along the lines of, don't get discouraged when there's bad or evil that happens, but trust that in time, God will pull from it some sort of good. And so that quote changed everything for me. I started just finding joy in the simple things, happiness in my daughter's smile and her laugh, hitting a pickleball, hitting a tennis ball, going to the gym, having a good conversation with a friend, calling my family more, just the simple things in life that we take for granted. I started to find just true contentment and happiness, and it deepened my conversations and relationship with God because I spent more time just being still and being silent. And I learned that if I wanted to have a more fruitful time with him, because I would hear from everyone, mentors, priests, Bryant, just pray and do the right thing, and all those things that we hear, from spiritual leaders and people within the faith world. I knew that was always right, but it never really hit home until it really hit home, and it became true to me when I would create a larger runway, is how I describe it. So runway, what do I mean by a runway? Runway is let's just take a plane for instance. Before it takes off, it needs to lead up, gain speed before it could actually take off. And I view that the same way for our spiritual life and our conversations with God. We can't just rush into it and go straight into it and try to have some sort of takeaway from it or sense of I got something from that, I feel better, I have an answer, you name it. So that runway is slowing down. Whether it could just be a minute at a time, start with a minute before you enter into prayer, whatever that looks like for you. For me, it started with a minute, now anywhere from 5 minutes on, and I'm constantly trying to exercise that muscle, because the longer it is, the better the conversation will be. And when I say conversation, this isn't something I'm hearing God literally speak. It's more of the simplest way I could put it is having a sense of peace. My life could be so chaotic, things could be absolutely frustrating me like no other, life can be going not as I expected, but in the midst of that, like, I have a sense of calm because I'm like, I've been delivered before. I've been brought through it. Why can't it happen again? And seeing it from a different lens of, well, how is this going to only prepare me for who I'm becoming, how I can impact and help others? Ultimately, how can I love others better and more deeply?